Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are doing the library in Oasis Springs and you're like, there's no library. Yeah, now there is. I am doing a base game rebuild of the entire base game, so Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newsquest. And today we are doing the next to last one of Oasis Springs. As you can see to the left, the museum is still to be remade. So we are doing a modern library. There is no library in Oasis Springs, as I mentioned, and I just like to have a library at every single town, or like a gym and a library. I want, like, it feels like there should be one in every town, kind of. And this library has a kids section and some art supplies, but mostly it's just like a library. You could renovate it to fit a cafe, I guess, but I did not since I have the gym and the cafe, and I'm gonna do a base game version of that too, which doesn't feature a cafe since that's get together. But if you want to see those videos of the other builds I've done in Oasis Springs, you can check out the playlist in the card and down below. So this was inspired by just modern libraries. I feel like in the university I'm going to, there is a modern library, and also like the main one in town. And I wanted it to be like neutral in colors, kind of like modern contemporary, but like soft. And I tried to make some curves. As you saw, I struggled with the ceiling, or the roof it's called, but I decided not to do that curve because I couldn't get it to work, and I really like how the end result turned out. So stay tuned to see that. Here we have a kind of, I want a rooftop where you could have like a study session, and this is where you can maybe put in like a boba tea station or like a cafe. It would be really nice to just have a little time here, but I like, imagine like studying up here. That would be very nice. Then we have this like patio, but it's like closed in, but it's open. Like the ceiling, as you see, is now, there is no ceiling really. It's more like a pergola, and there are some couches and stuff. And I also loved these ceiling lights. Like, ceiling lights are so nice, and for a closed space I want it to be like as bright and welcoming as possible, and I think I managed. I really like this build. I'm proud of this one. Here I tried some more curves, but it didn't work, so you will see the end result later. Here these columns are from the debug menu, so you can put in sheets for that, or you can download the Better Build by mod by TwistedMexi. As you see, I always use T.O.O.Lmod by TwistedMexi as well, and that's how you can like manipulate things, turn them different ways, make small adjustments, and it just makes every build so much more elevated. And I did here with the columns, I wanted to do, you know, this contemporary style, bring in some natural wood, which I matched with the swatches in the windows and stuff, and indoors that you will see soon. I also put in the facade. I mixed and matched a little with the wood, and then just white, I don't know, concrete, like stucco. I don't really know what it is, but. And here you can see the back, like the landscaping around it invites for a little path over from the gym, which is like in the original there's a club here, or like a salon. I do have the rattlesnake juice bar down the street. I renovated that one, so like if you have that and then a salon, like it feels like a little bit of both, so I decided to go with the library instead. And I just think a library is so useful, and it just like, instead of like going to another world, it just feels more realistic, like walking down to the local library, you know. So that's why I wanted to make a library. And I struggle with the stairs, always a struggle. Like, that's usually what I like. I redo them so many times. It's if you have any, like, how do you do your stairs? Does it go easy from you? Do you have like a go-to strategy? I don't know. I need help because it's a mess all the time. And here we are doing the outside. I decided to go like with a half wall and then just put windows in it, so it like becomes this like custom window fencing, because like the base game fence, it all I think it's like black, gray, and like silver, and that was not the vibe, so I made my own fence with the windows. And then I decided to go with these basic bookshelves in the swatch. Like, the swatches don't match, we know that. Could you just like do an overhaul and just like make every, I don't know, at least like the base game swatches? Like, why isn't the wood matching? That's kind of frustrating sometimes, but I took the swatches that were like the closest to each other as possible, and maybe that's a little realistic. Okay, maybe not for like boning of house, but if furniture, because sometimes the finish, it may be a little different. Here I started to put down some furniture just to see, like, to plan the build and see how things could fit, but I will like decorate it more later. So I wanted this little nook, like the library where I grew up, or like the library I had through high school. They had a little nook, like the youth section, and it was very like nice. We usually like hung out there and it just talked about the books and stuff, so I wanted to represent that in this build too. So I also put down some seating, little like all over the place, so you could just sit down in amongst the bookshelves and, you know, like get away but still be in the library. Like, I just like that idea. And here we put the couches in, like I mentioned. We kind of went for a like green and red color scheme in this one, and that's just because those like have green more throughout Oasis Springs, and you see the gym next door is red, and that was just the swatches that existed for the furniture I wanted, so that's what it became. But it's very neutral again. And here I'm doing some landscaping. Once again, the main tip for landscaping is to just look around and see what are they using. So now I have organized debug, which comes with Better Build by Twisted Maxi. It's linked in the description, by the way, if you want to check it out. And then you can just get all of the plants that are from the like neighboring lots and like what they put down in the game, so it just like melts together nicely. Because it's always like weird, like if this would be like a full-on lot or like a jungle, like it would just look so weird and out of place. So I like everything to just flow and look as natural as possible. And here I went in with some ponds. Not ponds, what are they? Like fountains? Yeah, I just put down that as a little feature. Feels very contemporary and just nice. So I did put down, some people would probably say it's a lot of landscaping, but for me it's very minimal. So I tried to like still make it nice and like lived in, if you may, but yeah, I still like I didn't make a forest. Okay, that's the point. I didn't make a forest. And I always go in at nighttime and just add lighting, so it will just look nice in every time of the day. And I struggle with this roof lights. Like, there's a lot, but I like wanted it to be pretty and like light up, but then I don't know about the placement, so there I kind of just basically covered the entire thing. But you know, it's what it is. And here I just redid the ceiling with like made a little pergola, if you wanted to, you could put some plants up there too. But it's totally functional. I playtested an entire build, so everything is functional as far as I know. I know that there have been some problems with like the land grabs mansion I built. I heard that the stairs didn't function anymore for like an update, but as far as I know, it works. So if it doesn't work suddenly, let me know and I will try my best to fix it. Now we're doing some more decoration on the inside. This is like the reception area. Like, it doesn't work as a reception area because this is The Sims and we don't have that type of thing. But I put the computers down, so the computer in, well, there's no share, but the computers doesn't work. So your Sims won't use them and just be there all the time. That's the main point. It just looks like a checkout area, and I wanted that for realism. So now we're doing like the wallpaper. That was a struggle. I am tired sometimes of the wallpapers in base game. I'm always on the look for more wallpapers, so if you know some good CC packs for wallpaper, let me know. And also, like, if you want more CC and you don't know where to start, I do have a series over on my TikTok which I post. I try to post every Monday, which is like my top 5 mods or my top 5 creators or CC for certain things. This week I just posted top 5 creators for plants. And I know plants, or I got questions before, I like plants because they're hard to find and you always want more plants. Like, we love plants. We love plants. So if you want to check that out and have more CC ideas, I do have videos over on my TikTok for that. And here we're doing the kids area, and I just had so much fun, just like color. I love those house bookshelves and those watches. Maybe you haven't seen them before, but they're actually some like kind of neutral, but like the inside is so colorful. And it's like you can fit them in any type of room, and it's just a little more fun than just a normal boring bookshelf. Here we're putting some kind of like study area, and as you see, I just sized down some desks and placed the chairs because I wanted more than one chair per desk because it looked better that way, and it's totally functional. Your Sim sit there and study. I also sized down the desks with the T.O.O.Lmod so you can't see them, so if you want to remove them it will be a little difficult because like you can't find, I don't know if you have a hack for that, but it's totally functional for me at least. So all of the chairs are functional and it just works. It just looks like they're sitting at the desk even though they're like, it's basically another tiny invisible desk. We're finishing it up with just a little display area, and this is the entire library. I made some little finishes here and there and put some easels out here. I totally forgot about the balcony. I'm like, oh, I'm down in the like, no, there's one more thing. So I put some easels that you can use. So if you like this one, you can download it on my gallery at Jonxbuilds24. And make sure to like and subscribe and tell me what more you want to see. And I'll see you next week.